All right guys, today we got two maintenance vehicles. We have an Acura MDX and we also have a Tesla Model 3. These are fairly new vehicles. We're probably both in the past 6 months. They're just maintenance and they're leased, so we want to make sure that we keep them nice and clean. So let's jump right into it.
How long is this detail looking like it's gonna take?
We're hoping to get both of them done in about 2.5 hours.
I see there's a lot of fog. Does that affect the detail in any way?
No. If you're doing the exterior, yes, it can. Only because the car tends not to dry, because the precipitation in the air is going to just keep coming back as you wipe the car. You know, the moisture is just going to start to fog up the surface again. So what we're doing now, since these are maintenances, we're going to do the interior first, kind of let the sun come out and the fog clear out a bit. Then we'll do the exterior so we don't have any of those issues after. So I'm going to show you how to do a proper blowout. When you're blowing debris, dust, dirt, leaves, whatever it is into the vehicles, you want to make sure you're doing it with intention and you're doing it directional. You don't want to be blowing. So this surface over here, the whole driver's area, I've already done the blowout on and the initial first wipe down with my interior cleaner. So I don't want to get this area dirty. But on this side here, I still have a ton of dirt, debris all through the ground on the seats. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my blowgun to actually face it towards me and blow outwards instead of blowing this way or just down. You blow this way, you're gonna get it shooting out in every direction. So if you're using directional force to blow it out towards you, you don't have to worry about this stuff here getting all messed up. It's shooting out this way from a distance. And I would never, if this area here, I'm not gonna shoot anything in here because this is gonna, these curved areas, the airflow is gonna go up and then you're gonna shoot stuff all over. So those I'm just gonna leave. If it's on the corner here, I'll blow it out. But if it's over on this, anywhere in this area, I'm not gonna shoot it because then you're making a mess over there. I'm gonna have to work twice. All right guys, I just wanna talk about really quick, I wanna take a moment to speak on floor mats. When we do floor mats, always assess it to the level of soiling that it has. I never do anything that I don't have to do. In detailing, there's different levels of soiling, there's different levels of staining, there's different levels of treatments that you can do in order to get the best results for a vehicle. So this vehicle, like I said, it's within 6 months. It's not dirty, there was very light staining on it. All I did for this vehicle here, for these mats, all I'm gonna do is give them a quick blowout. I'm gonna hit them with the carpet bomber. If it needs any brushing, there's a little tiny stain here that I just brushed out really quickly. And then once I was done with that, I hit it with the carpet bomber one more time. And then I went over it with the towel. And then I'm gonna hit it with my finisher once I place it back in, but I'm not doing any more than that. We're gonna vacuum it at the final vac, but if you don't have to do anything else, you don't need to, don't waste your time. You don't need to be extracting this. I know they're paying for a full detail, but if they're not paying for extraction, if they're not paying for stain removal, this is all you have to do. And if they're in good condition, you don't have to do anything else. Okay, so for this one right here, this mat, this was a back seat mat. Looks like we have some sort of a stain. This looks like it is probably a dairy base, so it would be a protein stain. So this I'm gonna set in, I'm gonna spray it with the enzyme treatment. P&S Terminator, this is gonna be in the link below. I'm gonna let that set in, break it down. So it's gonna separate and break down all the different types of then I'm gonna hit it with the carpet bomber over. It's pretty hard, so I'm gonna let that saturate and kind of do its thing for a minute. Then I'll come back to it, see how it feels when it softens up. The enzyme should help separation between the sugars and the starches and anything that's within the stain itself. So we're gonna see how that works, and then we're gonna come back to it and let that do its thing. So even within a couple minutes, you're starting to see the stain soften up. So this is why it's important to have an enzyme treatment, because it actually breaks up the stain, and it breaks up whatever the stain is made up of, and it separates them. So then it allows the stain to separate, and then obviously if it's separating, it's easier to clean up. So you're separating the stain from the color, from the actual protein matter. So we're gonna give it a brush, and then we're gonna wipe it up. I'm gonna use a different colored towel for the wipe up on this, since this is more of a grimy. So we'll see how it comes out after the first pass. Because it was on there pretty thick, pretty hard. So it's lightened up, but as you can see, it's still on there pretty. So this one we may have to drill brush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set in the enzyme treatment one more time, let that sit, and then I'll come back and drill brush. Okay, so here we are, back at the stain. We let the enzyme treatment hit it for the second time. A lot of it did come up, but we still have some that are within. You can see in the carpet fibers, it's almost like a folded fiber. It's not coming straight up. It's almost rounded and folded and tucked back in. So this is gonna be a great job for a stiffer brush that can actually work its way in. So I already had the enzyme hit it for the second time. Now I'm gonna go through with the carpet cleaner, and I'm gonna drill brush with a pretty stiff brush. See, so already we're starting to see progress. Just that small area, quite a difference. So we're just gonna continue the process. We'll probably have to do about 2 rounds, and then this stain should be gone. We'll let you guys see the result in a second. All right, so after assessing and testing it a few different methods, this stain, the more I drill it, the more it's coming up, and it's super, super heavy, and what's in there is a very viscous type of, I'm guessing it's some sort of a, maybe like a liqueur, or like a milk. So what we're doing is we're actually gonna let it settle and dry. We don't wanna saturate it too much. This is a maintenance vehicle, so we are gonna be returning monthly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just hit it every time we come monthly.
So we're running a little late today.
Yes.
How do you handle that with the customer? Do you let them know, or do you try rushing it to make it on time for the next?
I always know if I'm somewhat gonna be late so depending, it's all situational. So if I have somebody that I'm squeezing in for a job, I'll give them an approximate arrival time. So I'm not giving them a hard arrival time.
So we didn't have to be here exactly at 9?
No.
What time do you give them?
I said between 8 and 10. Because I was like, let me see what I have going on for the day. Because I didn't have any, I didn't have access to getting into the gate last time, because they have to notify the owner before you get into the community.
You couldn't get in last time.
I couldn't get in last time. So now we're kind of running off, now they're running on my time. So now I accommodated another day for them, and I said, okay, well, let's do the arrival time between 8 and 10 a.m. So that gives me a window, so I'm not worried about showing up late. And this is a good tip, guys, that you guys can use when you have clients that maybe you're putting in same day, or it's a rush job and they need it done emergency. Don't give them a hard time. Say, hey, I'll arrive between 2 and 5 p.m. That gives you guys a good window. You're not having to rush a job that you're currently on. And if you are a little bit behind, it's no big deal. You're not stressing yourself out. So yeah, that's my solution for issues like that.
What are you spraying on, Joel?
This is a tire cleaner. One of my previous videos, I showed the Geon tire cleaner. This is going to be undressed by PNS. The label is, this bottle's undressed, but they don't make it in a 16-ounce bottle, so I put it in one of my own bottles. But yeah, it's going to be specifically for the tires themselves. And then I'm gonna use the brake buster to get the wheels. I'm doing Enviro Clean on the wheel well to get that all nice and prepped, so we're ready to go before the scrub. So I'm laying down the undressed on the tire, I'm laying down the Enviro Clean, and then I'm gonna hit it with the brake buster, then I'm gonna scrub it out, all the areas, and then I'm gonna rinse all at once. So this is a good example of why we roll with multiple mitts. This vehicle here has a lot of sap and a lot of debris that has fallen off of trees all throughout the entire side. So we ran through our wool top surface one. This one's done for the day. It just has a ton of debris stuck in there, so we're not using that anymore. These two mitts are done for the day also. We're using the scrub pad to get any residual stuff that we couldn't get off. But so these ones are done. But this is why we always come with extras. I have two more in here that we're gonna use on the additional car, on the Tesla. So it's always good. I don't use the 2 bucket method. For me, I just think it's a waste of time. I would rather have 4 or 6 of these, so when I'm done with them, they're saturated, just get rid of them, move on to the next one. I don't wanna be sitting there wasting, rubbing stuff out, you know what I mean? I still use a grit guard underneath, just in case I do need to use that method. But if not, we're good to go with multiple mitts.
For sure.
Guys, we just finished up the maintenance on the Tesla Model 3 as well as the Acura MDX. Both vehicles are owned by a couple of good friends of mine, husband and wife, who own the Black Rabbit Society down in Stockton on Pacific Avenue. So if you're around, go ahead, check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Like, subscribe, and share. Also, I hope you took away some of these small tips that we did, especially on working on 2 vehicles in close proximity to one another without any interruptions. Any additional questions, throw them down in the comment section. Also, if you'd like, don't forget about our one-on-one training. Give us a call. We can do any kind of consulting when it comes to business, scheduling, training development, as well as just on-site detailing. So see you guys on the next one.